All right, Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi Bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. The name of the Heavenly Father everybody ignorantly calls God. His true name in the ancient Hebrew, which is the Lashawan Qadash, his true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. And Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel. Everyone ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who was slain at the foundations of the earth. This tribe of Judah, a so-called Negro, for the salvation of the elect, and for the rest of Israel on this side. After the destruction, basically, is what I mean to say. But for the elect on this side, for the rest of Israel after the destruction, the Rawchaa Qadash is the Holy Spirit that has been given to the men that the Lord was given by the Heavenly Father out of the earth to do this work. And our leaders is the elders and apostles, a great millstone. So we want to give double honors to the elders and apostles who led us to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and so forth, the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness and wrath, to the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, let's be able to find those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 5, it's unto it. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9, it's not slack and is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. The water for whoever tuning in here and on after. Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi Bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash Barakatham. We're going to get into a lesson. It's a lamb back off Apostle Tahar. A couple other elders went over it. Elder Yashawamba, a couple other elders went into it, and some brothers. And it's not something that we deal with a lot, but we deal with it sometimes when other groups bring it up. Shalom, bro. Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi Bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash Barakatah. The water for tuning in, bro. The water for tuning in. But yeah, they were bringing up and going over this. So we like to go back into these laws to show you this is the way the Lord had Israel set up so there wouldn't be wickedness among Israel. But you got a lot of Israelites there they're still, they have this, they're in their feelings about it. Like, it's like they act like we're doing this stuff right now. We're not in the land, and we have our nation right now. We're scattered. So a lot of this stuff we can't follow because it's said to obey the laws of the land. And some of this stuff we don't do it, especially the fact that we don't have a military. This stuff goes into when we had a military. We had power to do things that we can't do now. So when we go into these things, Jake makes it seem like we're telling you to do that. No, we're not telling you to do that. We're telling you to consider the days of old and understand that the reason why these things were set up is so that there will be no sin among Israel. These are righteous things we're telling you. All the ways, Lord's ways are righteous. Okay. So we're going to get into this and show you that a lot of this stuff, no, we don't do it that way. But, this is the way it was. And the Lord's bringing it back. And a lot of this stuff is not going to even be needed in the kingdom. Some of the stuff we tell you, we're not going to need it in the kingdom because everybody's going to be in their right mind. There ain't going to be no sin amongst Israel. Okay? But these laws will still be what? For the people who are not of Israel, the heathens, because they're still going to be immortal. They're not going to be immortal. So they're going to have to still follow these laws. Okay? They're not going to be perfect. They're going to go off still. Okay? So this stuff is still going to be in place for them, but not us, not the Israelites, because we're going to be immortal. We're not going to go off, and we're going to all have many wives. We're not going to just be, So this is the video analyzing Deuteronomy 21 verse 10 through 14. You will not understand if you are emotional. This is Elder Apostle Rawchaa saying this. He's the head apostle of GMS, and if you or Jake, you believe in this truth, this is something that you got to understand and be on one accord with and agree with, or you're going to be, basically, that means you're offended in the Lord. And we don't want to be offended in the Lord. And so we're going to go over that. We're going to put in some precepts in it, and we're going to look into a little bit of history to show that there was accounts of this. Okay. And the Lord said he came to fulfill the law. He coming to bring this back. Ain't nothing that you see in this book is not going to be in the kingdom. Everything in this book is going to be in the kingdom. This is the kingdom. This book, everything. There ain't going to be nothing left out. Just some stuff is going to apply only to the heathens because they going to be the ones still going off. Okay. And they're going to have to follow our rules, and they're going to have to learn this is what the fuck you're supposed to do when this situation happens. You know what I'm saying? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, right? When we had a military, we don't have a military right now. We're scattered across the four corners of the earth. We sinned against the Lord, right? And the Lord thy power have delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, right? The Lord was orchestrating it, right? And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, right? So Lord done sent you somebody and pillaged the land, and you see one of them, when you killed all the men and there's some women and children left, what Lord say, you see one of them women, yeah, I like that one, right? Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house. And we're talking about a woman that's not an Israelite, a woman of another nation, a heathen woman, a woman that's not Israel. Okay, so we're talking about, right? And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Verse 12, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her, and she shall shave her head. She gonna do it. She got to shave her head and pare her nails. And it wasn't like it was like she had a choice. Okay, this is how it was. Now today, if you, Jake, you go find you a woman that's not in Israel, what you gonna tell her to shave her head off? No, Jake. What the hell's wrong with you, man? And that's just saying, just verbatim. I'm just saying to the ones that are emotional about this, those scoffers out there, not the ones who's really trying to learn. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Just saying it, kind of like verbatim to the ones who have a problem with this. There's certain groups that have a problem with this. They're like, we don't follow that. It's not about following it. It's about saying this is the right way to be. That's what it's about. Because not everything is expedient. We're going to deal with that. Okay. Not everything is for the time. There's a different time for everything. And this time, it was a time you took women, you took the damn nation over, that you was taking them and being like, yeah, you know, I want this one. This is how the Lord said to do it. So she shaved her hair and pair her nails, right? And she shall put off the remnant, the raiment of her captivity off from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and mother for a full month, which is a new moon to a new moon. And Elder Apostle Dahar really was specific about, if it was like happened on the full moon or whatever, you still would wait. You would wait to the full moon, a full month, you know. And we know the Shabbat, the Sabbath, is on the new moons. When you look in Isaiah chapter 66, verse 23, and it shows you that that's why, these people who go to Saturday sundown church and whatever, all this, and worship the Sabbath, not on the new moon, we know that the Lord's not dealing with them, okay? Because they making their own laws. They making their own shit up, okay? This is the law, okay? This is how it went down. And this is what's coming back. This is why the Lord's telling you to consider those days of old, Jake, right? So beware her father and mother for a full month. Why? Because they probably got put to death. They got killed in the battle or whatever, okay? And after that, thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband. What does that mean? You hit the box, and then that's your wife, okay? That's what it's saying. And she shall be thy wife. See, marriage is sex, man, and that's why we don't do the whole thing like Esau. We don't do the whole get married and go sign the paperwork and put these other taxes together. That's not being married. It's sleeping with a woman, okay? But a lot of these women defile because they slept with multiple men. That don't mean that the Lord can't forgive you if you turn from your ways, because there's two different types of virgins. Okay, when you go listen to Apostle Gabar or some of his videos, it goes into that. There's two different types of virgins. One of them's of a marriageable age, and she might have already been dealt with somebody. But the law is if their husband died, then they can remarry again. That's the law. Okay, we still follow that one to this day, right? Some of them we don't, because why? Because we don't have our nation right now, So. It says, and after that, thou shalt go into her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if you have no delight in her. So let's say, Jake, you hit the box. And you're like, I ain't feeling it. Right? Right? If you have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. So you can't sell her. Here we go. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. What's that humbled mean? That means you hit the box and she didn't have no choice about it. She didn't have the only right she has is what? She can mourn her mother and father for a month. She got to shave her hair and her nails. And if you I don't like you, that I ain't feeling you, right? She can leave. That's it. All right? That's it. That's the rights that she had. A woman that wasn't of Israel, okay? And bro, I'm gonna pull that. I'm gonna pull that up too. I'm gonna pull that up. That 1 Corinthians 10:23. I went into it. I had it written down. I'm gonna pull up yours whenever I deal with it in a second. That's the next precept I wanted to pull up. That's the spirit right there. So, let's go to 15. Let's just go to 15. If a man have two wives, right? We was able to have more than one wife. Right? So you, Jake, you find two virgins, you pop both of them, that's both your wives, right? One beloved and another hated. So I like my other wife, I don't like this one, right? And they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn, right? But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength, the right of the firstborn is his. And that's really going back. The firstborn is going back to the first fruits, really, when you look into it, the elect. The elect is basically the first beings to come on the planet when you really go into it. But, these are the rules that were set up, man. These are rules that were set up for things like this. Okay? And the Lord wasn't saying having 2 wives is going off. And it's still not to this day. And they be like, oh, I can't believe y'all would have had double wives. But Drake got 100 damn women in the hotel popping all of them. John ain't tripping on him. What the hell's going on? That don't make no sense, man. Okay? This is why we tell you it's the same shit out here, man. Okay? A lot of the stuff that these celebrities do, they got multiple wives, but their wives are just whores, and they're all they causing them to all go out there and commit whoredom because they're not taking them. There was rules set up to where if you did take a woman, was like, I'm a popper, you couldn't put her away for the rest of your life. You had to take care of that woman. You had to love that woman, okay? That's your own flesh, okay? So there was rules to this. It's different now. People just out here raping women and not even trying to be with them. Not even taking, you see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, and grape doesn't, it's not like how you think it is. Like back then it wasn't like that. It was like, it was only certain situations that happened because usually the father and whoever, like you want a woman, just like Jacob wanted his wife, he had to go to her father and say, what? I want this wife. He said, all right, you got to work for 7 years. See, it was like an agreement. It was like a business transaction, but there was certain times that didn't happen. Okay. And man did something else. So there had to be rules set up. In case he did it, he had to know how to go about it. Okay. Instead of just being like, we're not going to even deal with it. Then motherfuckers will just be doing what they do out today. Just raping women, throwing them in the street, leaving them out there for dead. Don't think them as shit. That's why this stuff was set up, man. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. It reads, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. See? So some things we're not supposed to be doing that right now. Just like I talk about, if there's the man sleep with man, we're supposed to stone them to death. You don't see us doing that. We just be like, stop doing that shit, Jake. The ones that's doing it. That's it. Shalom, big bro. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Barakatah. The water for tuning in, bro. The water for tuning in. So, just it's different. Okay. See, like when we're going to look up this word expedient, right?
Strong's G 4851. Sumfero.
And actually Salakia, bro. I was supposed to pull it up. Yeah, Live in the Spirit, 144K put the same precept up. It was what I was finna go into. So that's the spirit, And that word expedient, we're gonna look up that word expedient and that word edify. Okay. So we looked up that, we got that word, we're gonna click it one more time. It's probably in the Greek because it's a New Testament.
Strong's G 4851. Sumfero.
Right?
Sumfero.
It says to bear or bring together, to bear together or at the same time, to carry with others, to collect or contribute in order to help to be profitable, be expedient. So doing this right now, is not expedient. Because why? Because we don't got military. We don't got, we don't bring it together right now and start doing this shit. It's not applied under grace right now, but it is a law and it is righteous. And if you think it's not righteous, then that means that you're offended in the Lord, because these laws, the Lord is coming back to fulfill. That's his whole purpose, to reestablish the tabernacle of King David. Okay. With the elect.
Strong's G 3618. Oikadameo.
Right.
Oikadameo.
Right. That's also in the Greek. I don't know how to say it in the Lashwan Qadash yet. I'm still learning my Hebrew. I'm little bro. So it says to build a house, erect a building, right? It said it don't edify not, which means what? It's not building up. We don't need it to build the tabernacle of King David right now. We don't need to build that. You need that to build the spiritual temple, but you still need to know what it is if you're a teacher, especially a teacher. So when you got people coming up like, well, what about this? You can tell them, You know, we want to know everything the Lord wants us to know. We want to know all the scriptures if we can. You know, us young brothers, because we know we don't know them all yet. We're still learning. But the elders and apostles, they have all the breakdowns. So that's why we seek our elders, because they know how to go across these things. Because some things you got to apply with wisdom so you can explain it in the right way. So Jake doesn't think that you can just go do this shit right now. Okay? So it says to build up from the foundation, to restore my building, to rebuild, repair. What is he talking about? The spiritual temple, the tabernacle of King David. That's why we say what? If you believe in this truth, we family. We really family. This is the true family reunion of the bloodline of King David. That's what this is. You know? So we gotta love one another, because why? Because we are what? Establishing something with Yahawashi. And he said, what did he tell us? Love one another. Yeah, sometimes brothers get into it. That happens, man. But you got to let it go. And at the end of the day, you got to let it go and be like, look, yeah, we went through that, but we got to do, it's bigger than us, you know, right? To found, establish, to promote growth. And it says Christian wisdom, but how you say Christian is Hamashiachim. That's how you say it in the ancient Hebrew, okay? That's what it's talking about, you know? And it means anointed, right? The anointed ones. Affection, grace, virtue, holiness, blessedness, to grow in wisdom and piety. Okay, so it's talking about constructing a building, a spiritual tabernacle. That's what it's talking about. That's what we tell you, to edify, so you can be a brick in this spiritual house. Because if you're not a brick in this spiritual house, then what? You're not going to be in. You're not going to make it into all the chariots. We'll make sure we're giving the Lord our all, and we're teaching. You know, these are things you need to know. Our history, it said, Deuteronomy 32:7, consider the days of old. You know, ask thy fathers and they will show thee. You know, thy elders and they will tell thee. That's Deuteronomy 32:7. But we're going to go over here to Deuteronomy 22. So I want to point out another thing before we get into a little bit of history. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 13. All right. Go over here. This goes into a little bit what that went into, but we want to go into this situation with the other nations, the other camps. They call it the grape doctrine. Okay, and we don't want to, you know what I'm talking about. Take the G out. I don't want to get my channel taken down. Okay. So Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, right? That's right. Like, get the box. Right, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Right, which means what? Like she wasn't a virgin, like a real virgin. Right, like he's like she got somebody else hit that thing, and I'm just finding out. Right, there's rules about this. Right, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. See, we took everything to the elders, and that's what we do today. We listen to what the elders telling us. We go straight to the elders because they're the foundation of the building. We go tell them, hey, what do we do about this? Especially as young brothers, right? Verse 16, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man's wife, and he hateth her, right? And I want to look up that word damsel real quick. Damsels, right? What's a damsel? These are stuff that's sensitive to some Jason. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Well, that means you don't want to talk about the Lord. Okay.
Strong's H 5291. Na'ara.
This says girl, damsel, female servant. That's your job. The only reason why you're breathing on the planet is to serve your man. That doesn't mean that your man's going to treat you like shit. If you get a man in the Lord, he's going to treat you like you're him. Okay? He's going to give a shit about you. He's going to, he's going to be gentle. Just like the Lord takes care of the church, the Lord's, he's gentle with Jake. But sometimes it seems austere because sometimes the rebukes is austere from the elders. Like, you better get your shit together, But it's because they know some Jakes come from a hard background, and you got to get in Jake's ass a little bit. And some of the women too. Some of the women came through a hard background. My rib was in the military. Sometimes you got to put your foot down and they'll just tear your ass up. Like, you're supposed to be a man in this thing. You got to gird up your loins, Jay. If they making it seem like you got to go that way, you got to. But if they ain't, then you ain't got to go that way. You can just talk to them, and if they got fear of the Lord, you ain't gotta really get on them like that. You just be, hey man, don't do that. But Jake working on it. All of us, Jakes, we coming out of America Babylon the Great. So sometimes we be a little too austere. Sometimes we don't be enough. We balancing ourselves, us young brothers. So female servant, girl, damsel, little girl of a young woman, marriageable age, young woman, and it's also talking about concubines. And the concubines is basically prostitutes. Okay, like they're a wife of lesser status. Okay, we just go and hit the box and leave. That's how it is. Maid, female attendant, female servant. That's why it says damsel. And then all the women are damsels. You got the ones that are Israelites, the ones that's not. You're all here to serve us, and that's why a lot of people don't want to watch, don't want to listen to these videos. A lot of women, this is what turns it off to them right here, But hey, man, this is how it was, and this is how it's coming back. But if you're an Israelite woman, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Your ass gonna be royalty in this motherfucker. You're gonna be in that bitch floating and shit. You're gonna have the lesser wives like carrying you around and shit. You're gonna be straight. That's why we tell y'all, like, quit tripping. Like, y'all gonna be good. I'm trying to tell you. Okay? Y'all are going to be straight. Like, like, don't worry about none of that. So, right? So, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, right? That's what he did. He gave her. That's how we say it. That he gives her. It's usually the father saying, yeah, I'm giving him over. And he hated her. And lo, he had given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not my daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, right? He bring the cloth with the blood. He bring the cloth with the blood to show this, but this is my daughter was a virgin, and he's saying she's not, right? And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. So he got punished, However, he maybe got lashes or whatever, something happened to him. Okay, got his ass whooped or something. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver and give them to the father of the damsel. Okay. And they will bring this to the elders, and the Levites will be there, and this will be, presented in this way, This is how it went down, because he had brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. So after he get his little punishment or whatever, he got to give 100 shekels of silver, right? And then what? And she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Then he got to take care of her ass. So it's like, damn, you should have just went ahead and took her, bro. Like, you just went through a whole bunch of shit you didn't have to go through. You still got to be with her, right? And that's the difference, okay? People these days, they just graping women and leaving their ass out in the street. It wasn't like this then. It's like you find a damsel out there, you tap that thing without the father, you got to bring him 50 shekels. That's what we're finna go into. And then you got to be with her. Take care of her ass. She's your property now. She's your possession. You got to take care of her. Okay? That's the understanding of a righteous man of the Lord. But if this thing be true, the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, right? So let's say they don't have the tokens. Let's say she really wasn't a virgin and he's being right. Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, man. This is how serious Israel was, okay? To keep wickedness from Israel, because we knew what? If we had wickedness in Israel, what the Lord going to do? He's going to give us over to our enemies, and we're going to end up in America Babylon the Great. Okay, that's basically what happened. We're going to end up in captivity, and everybody's going to be fucking stomping on us, treating us like shit, and enslaving us. That's why they was like, shit, you fucking go off, we gonna stone your ass. Okay? We was that much fear of the Lord. He told us to do it, we was doing that shit. The Lord told me, and that's what you got to understand. All of us has came back from we're reincarnated. So a lot of you, these brothers you see out here today, all of us done probably picked up a rock and hit one of these damn women until she was dead back in that day in Israel. Okay? That's what you need to understand. These are the people you're fucking dealing with. Okay? We're a very serious nation about righteousness. You think it's a fucking game, then you're gonna find out when the Lord gives us our powers back. You're gonna fuck shit up, okay? Lord willing, we're at that number. That's what we want to do. We want to bring vengeance with the Lord. If that's, if that's our role, we want to be part of the men, the 144,000 elect men. We want to, we will die for it, okay? Whatever, okay? But I want to join the team, okay? You know what I'm saying? So, like it says, because she have wrought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. See? Simple as that. Now, we're going to keep going a little bit more. If a man be found lying with the woman married to an husband, right? Then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman thou shalt put away evil from Israel. That's why they did it, to put away evil from Israel. Okay? If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in a city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because why? Because she cried not, which was saying like, I got a husband. No, don't do it. Help. Right? Because she didn't have no power. She was like, hell, don't do it. No. Right? Being in the city, and the man, because he have humbled his neighbor's wife, right? Hit the box. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. See? There's rules to this. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die if she cry out. See? So even now today, you got some people who rape women and they be in the courthouse and they get the whole charges dropped, nothing even happened to them. Back then, they get their ass put to death. That's why the Lord had it set up like this. So if you was a man, you was like, shit, if I hit that thing, I know I got to take care of it. I got to get 50 shekels. I got to take care of her ass for the rest of my life. Even if I don't like her, if she's a virgin, if I hit her ass, that's mine. That's the things Jake was considering. So you were just out there just popping whatever. Because, your ass had to get your ass to work. Because the woman was like, she was supposed to be at the house, doing chores and shit. You the one that asked to go out and work. So you got 3 wives, you're going to be busting your ass, Jake. Like, that's what I'm telling you, man. Like, that's what we're telling you. This is why it's supposed to be like this. So Jake, think twice before you do some dumb shit. Just be out there, hitting all the boxes. Because that's what you got today. You got your R. Kelly's out here. He hitting every single box. He ain't take care of none of them motherfuckers. And all of them out there just defiled now. Okay? Broken. Right? So then the man only that lay with her shall die, but unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, talking about a fellow Israelite, even so is this matter. See? For if he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her, right? Then it says, if a man, is another rule, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, right? So now we're going to one, he do find that she is a virgin, which is not betrothed, right? And lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, right? So he just seen that, he's like, oh, I'm gonna hurry up and hit that box because it's a virgin. She ain't cry out. She knew the drill. She knew the rules. Okay? What happens? Right? And they be found. Then the man lay with her shall give unto the damsel fathers 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not forsake his father's wife, or a man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. Like, you don't sleep with, you don't sleep with somebody else's, wife, basically, you're not gonna, you don't sleep with your mom. Okay, these are rules, and that's like shit that's happened in America, Babylon the Great. Okay, y'all looking at us like we're crazy because we're telling you this the way it was supposed to be, so people wouldn't be doing this kind of shit. Okay, just to show you that last one is dealing with that. Kind of curious what it says in the NLT. Sometimes the NLT be making a better explanation to make it more Simple. I just want to read that last scripture. And then we're going to go in the book of Numbers. Read a little bit in that. Yeah. See, a man must not marry his father's former wife, right? For this would violate his father. That's what it's talking about. Don't sleep with your fucking mom, Jake. Like, that's what it's saying. Because motherfuckers is doing that shit out here in America, Babylon the Great. That's why he's showing you, like, this is where you're at, Jake. You think my laws you didn't want to do my laws? Now look where you're at. You in this shithole. And motherfuckers is doing shit like that. But you got these other nations and they're looking at us like our laws are gruesome or something. No, these laws are righteous. Okay? First, I want to go to Romans. I want to go to Romans chapter 13, verse 1. This is something also to keep in mind. You know? It says, be subject to government, because the Lord set up everything. So if he set up Esau, Edom over us, we have to be subject to them. Now, we ain't going to just do shit that's wicked. We're not going to take the charagma. We ain't going to take the mark of the beast. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do wickedness. But if they set up something that's like pay your taxes or whatever, got to go to work, don't steal, all that kind of shit, we're going to follow that stuff because those are commandments that we know that was back then. See? So Romans chapter 13, verse 1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. So we're here in this place, Esau, Edom running shit right now. So we have to respect and obey whatever they're saying for us to do if it doesn't cause us to sin. We got to work from the sweat of our brow. We subject to payments. We got to, be outstanding citizens to the best of our abilities, and handle our business. We don't try to cheat the system and stuff because we know that this is our punishment. We have to fucking go through this. Okay? And we have to do it the right way, the straight gate, the hard way. Got to fucking try to be unspotted from this world, try to be a righteous man in a fucking desert, okay, of wickedness. Verse 2, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive unto themselves damnation. See? You're going to get took out. The Lord's going to do something to you. So you got to be subject as well to what we're dealing with. And that's what's building the temple, understanding that the ways that we did things were the right way. And now since we can't do them, we're out here fucked, Jake. We're out here fucking through out here. Okay? Now I want to go into this chapter, the slaughter of Midian. Okay, let's read this first from spiritual living the spirit 144K, Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. You see, so the Lord don't think like us. So we're coming back to this understanding of how the Lord views things. And if you're offended by those things, Jake, that means that you got a problem with the Lord. You don't got a problem with us. This is all about Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. This ain't about us, So we're trying to make sure that we're all pleasing him. So that's why sometimes brothers get exhortations, warnings, you get rebuked, things like that. But, as a young brother, for me, I try to leave most of rebuking when it comes to brothers that teach the same like-minded doctrine. I try to leave that to the elders because they're the ones who's leading us, but if they're rebuking IUIC, Sakari, yeah, we can go in on that stuff because they're not teaching the same like-minded doctrine, so they're not considered a brother until they start doing that. They're not a brother of Yahawah, Yahawashi, because they're trying to come up some other way. We're not going to see them as brethren because in the end of the day, if they don't have this spirit, they're going to turn into a demon and they're going to betray you. You're going to be like, oh, fuck. That's why they were saying stay away from people who's not teaching this doctrine. That's why they tell you that shit. This is Numbers chapter 31, verse 1. And we're going to go into Midian and go into who they are. Okay? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterwards thou shalt be gathered unto thy people. And the Midianites was a son of Abraham, and Abraham had 8 sons. But when you look into it, before he had to take Isaac up there to sacrifice him on the altar like the Lord told him to, he said Isaac was his only son, and he had 8 sons. So even though he had 8 sons, he only chose one of them to be the seed. And we're going to go into that a little bit. Okay? So it says, avenge the children of Israel, the Midianites. Afterwards, thou shalt be gathered unto thy people. Now, why did the Lord want to avenge Israel from the Midianites? Let's look it up over here in the dictionary. Who are the Midianites? Okay. Who are they? We know it's a son of Abraham. We're going to read it. According to the book of Genesis, the Midianites were the descendants of Midian, a son of Abraham and his wife Keturah. Okay, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimran and Jokshan and Medan and Midian and Ishbak and Shua, right? That's Genesis 25, 1 and 2, right? Then you want to go over here and we read this. Who are the Midianites according to the Bible? The Midianites were an early Arabic nomadic tribe largely known for their wandering lifestyle and the havoc they wreaked on other tribes, especially the Israelites. So just because they came from Abraham, they were just like I said in Romans chapter 9, it says they're the only children counted of the seed. They're not Israel. Okay? They weren't chosen to be Israel. You know, they were just counted for the seed to be those group of people. They're not Israelites. Okay, they weren't chosen. The chosen came to the seed of Isaac, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But his other 7 sons didn't get that promise. They didn't get that. Okay. So it says, through the Midianites were the descendants of Israelite were descendants of the Israelite patriarch Adam or Abraham, Salakia. But it says they were never considered part of the Most High's covenanted people like the Israelites. They're not considered. The Lord didn't give them the blessing, right? So we're going to keep going, right? So they're basically Ishmaelites, okay? So afterward, thou shalt be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake to the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. Okay? So every tribe, all 12 tribes, 1,000 of them went. So it's 12,000 men. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. Just like I was saying, right? And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, to the war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites, and the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males, right? When we was going in talking about Deuteronomy, what happens if you go take over a city? What are you going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Verse 8, and they slew the kings of Midian, beside the rest of them were slain, namely Evi and Rekem and Zur and Hur and Rebah, the 5 kings of Midian. Balaam, also the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. Okay, and Balaam was, he was real wicked, man. When you go in about him, but we ain't gonna get too far into that. Verse 9, and the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle and all their flocks and all their goods. And they burnt all the cities wherein they dwelt and all their goodly castles with fire. So they took all the women, was like, we want this one, I want this one, and I want this one. Okay? This is showing you an account that the Lord, that they, this is what they do. This is what we do. Okay? And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both men and of beasts. And they brought the captives and prey. And see, back when we in the kingdom, we're not going to have to worry about that because there ain't going to be no war. We're just going to see a woman that's not an Israel down there. We come down to earth, and really it's going to be the father's like, take my daughter as a servant, please. They're going to be so happy we fucking rule. That's how it's mainly going to be shit. We're going to be paying attention to them things. We're going to have Israelite women, but, we're going to have them both. We're going to have concubines. I might take a concubine just so she served my wife. Like, it's going to be like that. Like, I'm going to have somebody, carrying your ass around or something. I don't know. Like, who knows? Who knows what we're going to do? I'm just, just thinking like this is some of the things that's going to happen. So when they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses, right? Oh, wait, yep. Eleazar, the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, talking about so-called Chinese, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar, the priest, and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them out of the camp. And Moses wrought the officers of the host with the captains over thousands and the captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, have ye saved all the women alive? Right? This will get to the point. Behold, these have caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. Right there, so they were basically getting Israel to go off worshiping other gods. Okay, Lord's real serious about that. So this is what He's going to do about it. Okay, now therefore, verse 17. Kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known man by lying with him. So they took all the women, and then he said, after he had them all, he said, kill all the little males in there, and kill all the ones that done slept with a man. The only things that was left in there was virgins. Okay, this is how serious this shit was. Okay, but all the women, children have not known a man by lying with him. Keep alive for yourselves. See? So that's all I want to do. Is, you can go into it further, but I didn't want to do too much. But this is righteous. And we're going to prove that in Psalms chapter 145, verse 17. Going to prove that was righteous. That was a righteous setup. That was a righteous order of things to happen. Okay. Psalm chapter 145, verse 17. The Lord is righteous in all His ways and holy in all His works. That was the work of the Lord. He said, go down there and do this. Do this to avenge the Lord. It was righteous, right? So I want to look at this word. And when it says He's righteous in all His ways, let's look up this word ways. What kind of ways is it talking about? Okay. And actually, not ways. And it says moral character in there, but I wanted to look up the word works in all His works, because that was a work of the Lord, what He did in the book of Numbers. It wasn't wicked.
Strong's H 4639. Maasai.
He did unto them what they was doing to the Israelites. What you think He's gonna do to Esau, Edom? Motherfuckers is through, right? Hold on, I'm gonna say it again. I was talking.
Strong's H 4639. Maasai.
Right? It says deed, work, thing done, act, work, labor, business. That's the Lord's business that they were handling. Pursuit. And they were going to do it exactly how they said. They weren't saying, well, this little guy, he seems like a good little bro. No, they killed all them little niggas. Okay? And all the wives who slept with men, they killed all them motherfuckers. They say he ain't bringing none of you motherfuckers in Israel. Okay? This is why we needed grace. So you got these people who go in here talking about, the Levites and the Levitical priests of Aaron, and Moses, but ain't none of us fitting that shit, man. You know what you had to do to be a priest at that time? First of all, you had to be a Levite. Man, we under the order of Melchizedek right now. Okay, and the elders been going into that, Elder Yahawah and them, and they got lessons on it. I posted in the community board. In the order of Melchizedek, that's something that you really gotta, you want to go in and learn it. They got lessons on it, and they'll teach you like really what it's talking about, and what you're seeing right now is that order, and it starts with Yahawashi. Okay, that's what that order is. He before everything happened, the Lord already had that set up, man. Okay, to fulfill the prophecy of establishing the new covenant. Okay, but the new covenant isn't established until Yahawashi come back and take over the kingdoms and make us immortal. We're not under the new covenant until then. We're still under the curses. The wages of sin are death. You know, in the book of Romans, in chapter 6, it talks about that. So how are we under the new covenant when it said he'll put we won't have to teach every man his neighbor. So which means you don't have to teach other Israelites how to get your shit right before he comes back. We won't have to do that no more. Okay? So anyways, business, pursuit, undertaking, enterprise, achievements, deeds, works of deliverance and judgment, work, thing made, work, most high product. Okay? Possession, operation, occupation. Okay? All his ways are righteous. So that's why we try to tell Jake, like, you can't just do whatever. This is his operation. You know, that's why we tell Jake, stop eating pork because he's coming to fulfill those laws. And he said that, you know, just because just because we're under grace doesn't mean you're supposed to just go off. If you know something's wrong, don't do it. And if it's something that there's a demon on you, because some people do things and there's demons on where only fasting and prayer is going to get that shit out of you. Okay? Because every Jake has his own demons he got to fight. Okay? And we'll go into that. But Matthew chapter 5, verse 17, think not I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am come not to destroy, but to fulfill. Okay? And this is Yahawashi speaking. Let me click the red letter. See? It's Yahawashi speaking. He came to fulfill it. He's coming to instill this back in the earth. So what do you want to do? You want to know what he's finna come put in the earth. That's why we're showing you that's what he's finna do. He's finna bring this stuff back. I'm gonna look up that word fulfill. You know, I want to look up a lot of words this lesson. I'm almost done. You know, it usually be about an hour. It should be in the Greek.
Strong's G 4137. Plerao.
Right? To make full, to fill up, to fill to the full, right? And remember, it said not everything is expedient, not everything is supposed to be added together. Why? Because Yahawashi is coming back to add that. We don't have to worry about adding that right now. He's gonna come do that. He said he will come and fix everything else. He's gonna fix what we didn't fix when he gets back. So not everything's gonna be perfect. Okay, it's supposed to be like that because he's our mediator, he's our doctor. He's gonna come fix that. You know, but we're gonna fix what we know that is applicable to fix to make ourselves ready for the marriage. Okay, the salvation, right? To cause, to abound, to furnish or supply liberally, to abound. I am liberally supplied to render full, complete. You know, render perfect, carry through to the end, to accomplish, carry out some undertaking, to carry into effect, bring into realization, realize that what? These ways are coming back, okay? To make incomplete in every particular, to render perfect, matters of duty to perform, execute, and sayings, promises, because we had two different promises. We had the first covenant, now we come to the second one. You know, we're under grace, trying to get it right, trying to make sure that what? We know what the first covenant was talking about under grace, because we're going to go off. We're going to try to follow to the best of our abilities, but we're going to go off because why? Because the Lord doesn't want us to be perfect. He wants to come fix our ass, right? Prophecies to bring to pass, ratify, accomplish, okay? Fulfill, i.e. cause the Most High's will to be made known in the law, to be obeyed as it should be, as the Most High promises, even through the prophets to receive fulfillment. So the prophets were at the forefront of us receiving this fulfillment. That's why the prophets are so important. Our elders, man. You know, they're a big part of that. Their work has to be finished first before Yahawashi can come back. It said, this should be preached to all the witnesses of to all nations and all witnesses to all nations, and then the end shall come. And Matthew speaking, you know, verbatim. You know what? Let me pull it up, so I won't just butcher it. It's Matthew 24, verse 14. I'm pretty sure it's Yahawashi speaking. Yep, this is Yahawashi speaking. And the gospel of this kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then the end shall come. Okay? You see? So the prophets, their job was very important. They're the last step before Yahawashi comes back and tears everybody's ass up who thinks it's a fucking game. Okay? That's why when the elders tell you something, listen, man. Because if you don't, Bahasham Yahawashi is going, hey, he's not going to be happy with you. And we want Bahasham Yahawashi to be happy with you and me and all of us. We want to be happy with us. Be like, y'all are working together as brethren. Save all y'all. We're going to be glad. We're going to be on chariots, probably crying and hugging each other and glad, and maybe not. Maybe we'll be immortal and we'll just be standing there on one accord and we'll feel an energy like a love for each other like we'd never had before. A closer bond than we do have right now as brothers, because we'll be all together, you know, and the women as well. You know, they'll have a closer bond to each other. The women that are under whatever man they under, they'll all have a closer bond. And we'll all just be standing there in silence and frightened, because you're going to be seeing the Babylon the Great on fire, okay? Standing on that sea of glass, looking through that damn window, seeing that motherfucker on fire, and Jake down there fucking screaming his ass off. We're not going to be sitting there. We're going to be so glad that we did what the hell the elders told us to do. This is Romans chapter 6, verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for we are not under the law, but under grace, right? But then it said, verse 15, what then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? The Most High forbid. So what did it say? Don't eat swine, okay? Don't eat fish without scales, like puffer fish and shit. That one dude died trying to eat a fucking puffer fish, okay? Off some little shit. The Lord set this stuff up to teach you. This is why we don't do this shit. Damn. Verse 16, know ye not that whom ye to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, is servants that ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience or of obedience unto righteousness, right? But the Most High be thanked that ye were servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart, which is your mind, la'ab. That's how you say that in the Rawchaa Qadash, from the heart, that form of doctrine which was delivered you. Okay, so we understood that we're under grace, but we're still gonna strive to please the Most High. You know, we're gonna strive to do it to the best of our abilities. You know, and we know we're gonna fall short, and that's why the brothers be saying, "Have mercy," because the Lord set it up to where we're not gonna be perfect, man. We're all gonna have our own little niches we gotta fix, and that someone's gonna be tougher than other brothers. That's just the way it is. It's Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6. And I got one more precept, and we out of here. It's Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6. But we are all as an unclean thing, right? We got to get cleaned up, Jake. So it's not like a surprise. Oh, no, you went off. Like, we know we're going to go off. We're going to go off. It's not, you know. Right now, it's okay. Like, you go off, like, it's not okay. What I mean, like, it's not okay to go off, but I mean, like, it's okay, like, in the fact that you got a chance to repent, you got a chance to clean yourself up. We're not expecting nobody to be perfect. Like, if you come in this thing and you just perfect all the damn time, then something's wrong. You ain't never had no problems. Ain't no demons fucking with you. Ain't no demons that got you going off at some point and fucking up. Something's going on. Because the demons are supposed to be attacking us, Jake. We're fucking the only thing trying to be righteous on the planet. Just like I was listening to Elder Maka'Allah the other day, there was a brother who came on his comment board, was like, man, I ain't been in the spirit. It's been hard for me to do videos. It's been hard for me to do the work. And he was saying that if you ain't having that problem, even brothers like me, yeah, you see me doing the work, but that don't mean I don't have problems with that. Sometimes it's hard for me to come up with a lesson to do. That's why I'll be searching 100 million articles and just piece them together. Or, you know, I'll go listen to the elders and see what they talking about. That's a big thing that helps me do videos. See what they talking about and then go on what they talking about. You know, that's why we follow our elders, because that's where the spirit is. The spirit's coming and going through them over all of us. You know, they're dealing with them more than us young brothers. That's why we listen to elders. They're ones who've been facilitating the spirit for 30-something years. 30 plus years, man. Big brother's been doing 15 plus years. And listening to the big brothers, they'll be like, man, I've been in here for a short time. And they've been in there for 15 years. How much for us young brothers who just got here, man? Even if you've been in here for 4 years, 5 years, you still a baby. You know? We're still babies, man. You know? Let's go ahead. We'll read that right after I do that, bro. The water. And the water for everybody tuned in. Yahawah, Bahasham, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Barsak. Lord willing, it's been edifying to you. So, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, which is sin upon sin, like the wind, have taken us away. You know, we've been through out here. Jake through. But what did it say about Jake being through? Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16, live in the spirit 144K. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. See, the wicked ain't going to get back up. They're not going to keep serving the Lord. They're going to fall away, and they're going to get offended of the Lord, and they're going to fall out, and they're going to stay falling out. And that's why the elders are saying, bring mercy, man, because we all going to go off. We all have stuff we deal with, but leave most of the rebuking when it comes to the body. You know, and this ones who believe what we believe, lead that to the elders, because they're the ones who know how to correct us the best. We're still new, so we're still learning how to deal with other brothers. And the best way you can deal with your brother is what? Love your brother, man. Love your brother. Just love him. Even if, because I was listening to another brother, I can't remember which one it was, but he was talking about don't lose your heart. Like don't become like a brother who's like not trustworthy. Don't trust other brothers or be trying to like seek out if they're a good brother or not. Just be you, man. Just be you. Love your brother. If he's being wicked around you, he's gonna get removed. But you don't have to do it. The Lord's gonna do it. You know, but just be loving to your brothers, man, to the best of your abilities. We know Jake come from a rough background. Jake come from a place of betrayal. But just if you treat your brother right and you suffer wrongfully, if they do you wrong or something, if you suffer it, what did it say? The Lord gonna accept that, man, and it's gonna give you a better chance of getting saved if you take it the right way. Just be like, man, Lord, pray for that brother. Them demons get out of him, because that's really what's separating us is the demons that we all got plaguing us, these curses. So if we just pray to the Lord, like, man, Lord, please remove them demons from this brother. You know, whatnot. And that's what I'm learning more as I come to the truth. When I see a brother mess up, instead of being like, oh, he threw, I try to think about it like, go back to myself, go pray to the Lord. Hey, man, this particular brother, Lord willing, he make it through whatever you putting him through. Lord willing, this is to strengthen him, and you don't got to tell him, because the Lord hears it. The angel's going to take that, the Lord going to take that to the Heavenly Father and say, look what little bro doing. He praying for another bro. Put the spirit on him, get him a little better. Lord gonna say, all right, I'll do. The Father gonna say, all right, I'll do that. We can do that. And that's the kind of thing. That's why they're saying have mercy on brothers. So Matthew chapter 11, verse 6, and blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. We're gonna look up that word offended. What does it mean to be offended in the Lord? And then we're out of here. Okay. Got to start getting stuff ready and, move a couple things around in the house.
Strong's G 4624. Skandalizo.
Okay,
Skandalizo.
say that in the Greek, I'm pretty sure, because we're in the New Testament. But yeah, I got to move some stuff around the house, get stuff a little cleaned up, not really, not a lot. Wash a couple dishes, and then I'm going to the plantation. I really wanted to go work out a little bit more. That's been one thing that's been tough for me. Going to go work out, because I eat pretty good. I ride my bike to work every day, but I mean, like, go get a real workout in. And that's something that my elders been stressing on me. Other elders been stressing about having your heart rate right. Go work out a little bit. So I want to try to go shoot around and hoop a little bit before I went to work, but go into plantation, but I might not have no time. But I went yesterday. I'm damn near through. But it was cool, about the 2-3 hours out there. And I'm feeling better, So like we're gonna go back into this Salakia, just kind of rambling. So it says to put a stumbling block or impediment in the way, upon which another may trip or fall, metaphorically to offend, to entice to sin, right? Being like, we telling you something not to do, or telling you, things, and then Jake be offended, like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do my own thing, right? To cause a person to begin to distrust and desert one whom he ought to trust and obey. And that's what a lot of brothers, not brothers, but a lot of people have done when they came into this truth. Elders and apostles try to tell them something, and they throw it behind them. They cast it behind them, and that's what Esau Edom does. We don't want that. Okay, we don't want that. It talked about in Psalms chapter 50. It said, "Who are you to put my words in your mouth?" Talking to Esau. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and it was like saying that that you cast your words behind me. We don't want to cast the words of the elders behind us, because then the Lord gonna look at you like you Esau. He's gonna jack your ass up. Okay, to cause to fall away, to offend in one, i.e., to see another what I disapprove of, and that hinders me from acknowledging his authority. We're supposed to be acknowledging the authority of Yahawah, Yahawashi, and what he's meant to do. To cause one to judge unfavorably or unjustly of another. See? So you got to be careful how you judging brothers. That's why I said have mercy, because you had that in Job. His friends came and rebuked him, and what did the Lord do? He came over there and said, "Look, you shouldn't have did that, because y'all going off." Job doing what he's supposed to do. That was a big lesson to show that you have mercy and just wait a little bit. Wait to see what the elders is going to say about it, man. Keep that shit wrapped up with us. We're dealing with that shit because we're all men together. We can do all that shit off camera. And if he really is causing a problem to the brotherhood, then it can go to that point. But, it didn't seem like little bro was really doing nothing. Like, and I wasn't there, of course. But it's like, he wasn't doing nothing where you had to, like, say he was bringing shame and all this other stuff, man. We all brought shame to the Lord, man. What are you talking about? We all brought shame to the Lord. We're filthy rags, So since one who stumbles or whose foot gets entangled feels annoyed, to cause one displeasure at a thing, to be indignant, to be displeased, indignant. So like, that's why when we try to talk about the grape doctrine and stuff, you got some Israelites, they're displeased about it. They're like, oh, it doesn't sound right. It sounds contradicting. Esau Edom made the Bible. He did that. Okay, well, all right, bro. Cool. I want to look at this word indignant, and then we're out of here.
Indignant.
Feeling or showing anger or annoyance at what is perceived as unfair treatment. So what we just read this whole hour, if you look at that as unfair treatment, that means you are ashamed of the Lord. That means that you are offended in the laws of the Lord. And he said, all his ways are righteous. So we're going to find out, Jake, if you're offended or not. And that's talking to myself first and foremost. This is why I read over this shit and look at it and dig through it and go everywhere the elders go and be like, yep, that's right. Yep, that's right. Because I don't want to be offended in a damn thing when Jacob's trouble comes. Because it's going to take one thing. The Lord going to take your ass out, Jake. Because this right now, we got time to get our spirit right. But as soon as that time comes, there ain't going to be no more time to get your spirit right. The Lord's going to do something about, unruly Jakes. Real bad shit. So that was it. This brothers right here, they ain't even speaking in English, but this was the intro, camp that I put in. They're in Italy, and that's just some more brothers. This to show you how widespread GMS is. GMS is the camp. Okay, these other camps don't have camps everywhere, man. This is why we know these are the prophets, man. They are spread across the four corners of the earth, and we look like all different nations. And you got one that look like Jake, and one of them look like, he Italian. And he's the one teaching the most time when you go into it. He's the one who's there first. So you can't just look in the flesh and just be like, oh, that person should be leading. No, man. For all we know, this dude could be Judah right here. And then this dude could be like Benjamin. And we know Judah is the head camp, the head leaders. So that's why it's like you don't understand Yahawah, Yahawashi, and his ways, man. You can't just look at this and just be like, just because, I could be a Benjamite. I could be, Issacharite. Who knows? Now, my dad, he was dark. He was a Jake. He could be Judah. Who knows? We'll find out when we get there. But we know one thing. We want to be all on one accord and make sure we're not offended in whatever the elders are telling us. That's one thing that we can be good on, So Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Yahawah, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honor to those and the apostles of the great millstone. Let us all to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, wouldn't we be part of that number? Lord, wouldn't this be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities? His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. It is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. Wa above above the water for all y'all 2 men used to say believers in Yahawah, Yahawashi, Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Atham. Lord, when there's edifying peace and blessing to the elect. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.